I heard a ding. What was that ding? No. Nothing important. Okay. Chapter 6, which is part 4. Let's go. Squid thing from Hellboy? That's what it looks like. The Hellhound from Hellboy.
Who goes there?
Oh, I got points.
That nightmare again. I need a drink.
Don't really need one, but just use my points real quick. How much do I got left? 3 points. Let's put them into spots hidden. Something wrong with my sanity? Well, obviously that. Let's go ahead and get all these places off my thing. I didn't get everything in the last chapter. I know I didn't. I'm not even gonna bother going back for them. Did they clean up the room? I think they did.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day's only started. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us.
Just refresh this.
What happened?
There we go.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
It seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor then...
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital. And called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kinds.
Yes. I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He
Again,
founded
that
the
boat is
hospital in
mentioned.
1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was that Dr. Fuller and a nurse. Blood everywhere. My legs.
So how did I go from the hospital
I couldn't bear
to an
it.
insane asylum, though?
They injected me with something. I woke up at the Institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did you discover anything else?
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An
I
art
don't
collector,
really
so
want to,
that's
though.
probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Did anything get put into it? Yep, something in drug water. I don't really want to do this, but... This is as far as I've gotten. This particular chapter. So, after this chapter, I have no clue what goes on. Yay me! This is, well, if I ever finish said chapter. Load screens. There we go.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders? I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
We met briefly, but he made a strong impression on me. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
We had a short conversation and then I left. I don't know what happened after that.
Oh, I see. Mr. Pierce, you must forgive my audaciousness, but I've had practice of life in high society for over 30 years. Reading one's interlocutors, recognizing the politeness of a lie, are things that are taught very early to young girls from a good family. But your lie has nothing polite about it. It is crass, insulting, and dare I say, terribly suspicious. Try to understand my position. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
Mrs. Sanders, I understand your grief, and I extend my deepest condolences to you. But I had nothing to do with the death of your husband. I've just arrived on Darkwater. I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
The death of the Hawkins family? You mean it was not an accident? This accursed island knows only tragedy after tragedy. You too would be advised to flee it like the plague. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
May I ask you what Miss Baker is doing here? How do you know her?
My business with Miss Baker is private, Mr. Pierce.
But
This
you
is
do
all
know
for
what
business.
kind of business Miss Baker is in, don't you?
I am no fool. Please believe that much, at least.
How did you come to meet Sarah Hawkins?
We were the wealthiest and most influential families on Darkwater. Of course we would know each other. And when Charles returned from Europe with his sweet little artist, she and his sinister paintings were destined to catch my husband's eye. He bought many of her works over the last 5 years. They adorn his macabre gallery.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long. Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph. The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives. Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it? Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even? A house of artists. Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? She didn't want Sanders to have the painting. She must have felt devastated. Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins? The Shambler. I need to see it.
Door's locked. But this door. Oh wait. I had this stupid thing. What's it say?
I made a mistake.
Blah.
I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter. Except to burn everything.
A strange Amerindian pendant. I could use one of those. Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing. An old diary.
Will you read the book? This will affect your destiny. Oh boy. Oh, I got points. Let's upgrade the psychology a little bit. Sanity. That book was mental trauma. Oh boy, this part. No, wait, forgot to talk to her.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I have a well-off client in Boston who heard about the death of Francis Sanders and wanted me to size up his estate before making an offer to his widow.
Nice story. Bad lie. Learn how to dupe, Detective. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
There's more than that, Miss Baker.
So people have been talking behind my back. I was almost beginning to like you, Mr. Pierce. But it stays cat for you.
You knew the Sanders?
Irene is a friend of mine.
I found this drawing of a dagger. Did you come across anything like it in your reading?
Perhaps. I saw several daggers in the ledgers. I could always check. What I didn't find, however, was the slightest reason why I should help you, Detective.
I don't need your services. I can manage all on my own, thanks.
Do it then. Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times. Why was he so interested in old weapons?
There's the dagger I need to get.
The man
this is the part I
transformed
hate.
the entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Here we go. Oh boy, here we go again. I bet this will be a lovely thing to come into the video. I believe his words were, "Don't look at it."
What the hell was that?
Is it out there? Nope, guess not. Shit. Shit. It was out there. And he's starting to get claustrophobic again. Make a break for the other one. Is it in the room? I can't tell in that corner. Make a break for the knife.
This dagger looks
Run.
different.
Stab it! Made it. Ironically enough, I'd never gotten past this part.
What's the matter with you? You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing
Oh, I
it,
got 2
Detective.
trophies.
At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
I ran, screamed, broke a pane of glass. You were in the next room and you didn't hear a thing.
If I hadn't heard a thing, I'd still be in the other room. The door was blocked. I got in as soon as I could. I like to look after my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I've still got things to settle with Irene.
Well, that was shorter than I expected. Considering every other time I tried to do it, I kept dying. So after this point, I have no clue. That was a little bit short. I'll just probably put chapter 7 with it too. Yeah, I'll do that. Don't even know how long this will be, considering this is the first time I've gotten this far. There's blood on the window. Lovely sight to see. Hello?
Where's the bookseller? An old diary.
Gonna look around some.
Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
History of Darkwater. There we go.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
Medicine. Would I like to read the book? Probably shouldn't, but I'll do it
What does
anyway.
this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
A lot of books here. Well, it is a bookstore, so obviously. An old gramophone. Anything on the table? Nope. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's the oil I just picked up. Duh.
What happened here? A strange amulet. I have a
That ain't
feeling
no
I'd better not
freaking
touch it.
shape of a dog. It's got wings. Okay, what's my shit on this time? My medicine's almost up to 3 now. So I guess that's something. Sanity. That sanity's getting pretty damn low. Okay, it's this stupid shit again.
Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work. Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably. This burglar seems to be rather clumsy. What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What killed all these animals?
Animals. Mice.
What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work?
Hey, that's that one thing. Oh, great. This shit again.
What the? Charles Hawkins? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess?
That's an Necronomicon.
Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
Why is the detective vision thing going purple? Black? I don't know.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills? What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
What's this?
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
What does that say? What? Drake's memories. If someone finds these memories, there will be no doubt that I am in serious trouble. Blah blah blah. Bodies and bones. Order is a pleasure of vision. Where's the freaking thing for the code? That doesn't tell me shit. Let me just look that up real quick, because I can't. It doesn't tell me shit. Oh, holy hell.
Arkham editions. Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham editions. Arkham editions. Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another
How many
volume
volumes
by
are there?
Arkham editions. Arkham editions. How many volumes are there in this collection?
Says look for a cylinder. Cylinder. That is what it says, right? I just can't read.
Things are not looking good. Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
There's a gramophone over here, right? You start with cylinder one?
Dreadlocks, like precious stones, lie stricken, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers.
So, goblet, chessboard.
And my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent.
The books.
Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research.
Chessboard.
I never
There's
tire of
3
browsing
white
through them.
pieces. A goblet.
The Chalice of Knowledge.
There's 5 rubies on it. So I guess that's 5, 3, and how many books were over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it should be 5, 3, 9. Oh sure, pick up that damn thing. Because that looks like something readable. It's an eye. And what the hell? Okay then. Oh, God damn it, I'm back in the Citizen Institute again. Well, now I should probably do it because it's getting close again.